Hi and welcome to a brand new episode of the Indulge Podcast with me, Roma Laishram. Today I've got someone very special with me and we've been dying to talk to her for over a year. I've got with me today on the show Sreemathy Mohan. Thank you so much for finding time for us on this show.
Anytime, Roma.
So Sreemathy, what is the best way you'd like to introduce yourself?
So it's basically, do you know the word paithyam? It's actually that, because it's not passion or something, but it's I think you think about it, you see about it, you read about it. I'm in that kind of zone for the past 7 years. That's it.
So what I do understand is that you don't come from a textile background. You come from a very different business background. You've done an MBA, you've done, completely in the business field. And at some point of time you said, no, I want to drop all of this and focus on textile. So tell us that story. How did that happen?
I wanted to study history. Never had a chance. So, like, I did my BCom and then of course MBA followed, and always that that art history has been a part of me. Without knowing, you pick up something, right? You'll never know when that will turn into a passion or when it will completely overtake you. So this happened. I was in insurance and I worked with a lot of IT companies, traveled all over the world. So at one point of time, when I thought that I have to look at a second career, I thought let it be a passion driven one, because first time you take up a job because you're forced to do that. Second year you can chart out your own way.
Absolutely.
So that was the idea. So but when I came in, I didn't want to just do any business. So I was very carefully looking for something, prepared myself in this particular area, this textile art history. By then I had started designing. I had this love for traditional textiles, and whenever you put me in a temple, I would never go and look at the main deity. I would look at the iconography, how that deity is dressed, what Dwarapalakas, what style of dhoti do they wear. So all that, you just observe and learn. And it is a great history. It's not just, but there is a vast thing which you don't know. So all these things come into play, and so my idea was to learn about our own Indian textiles, because it's a rich legacy. So much is there, every state. So even while I was in the job, when I was in the corporate job, I started using my weekends for traveling. I would go for all my vacations would be for a textile trail or a food trail. So that is your area. Okay. So, so I would travel to Orissa, I would travel to Kalna. So both done, I could see the terracotta temples and also the influence of the same thing on Balichari. So all that happened. So I think understanding the cluster is one thing, but when you're working down, you should really know the artisan is the story now. For the width and it's like a craft atlas. I mean, you have so much in India. True. So it is just like that, when you go to Jaipur, you see all these small things. Like then I went on a learning holiday. Okay. Learned Bagru print. I learned Dabu print.
Wow. And where was this?
In Jaipur.
Lovely.
And Sanganer. So basically, I always knew about this hand block prints, but once when you go and learn, it is different. So that's how my journey started. Was through learning, and I was into content development lot of time, because that gave me that research cap. I could put it on and then I could write, and I wrote a story on the motifs of Kanjivaram for a well-known brand in Chennai.
Lovely.
So basically, we know the motifs here. If you're asking about, say, motifs about Banaras, I wouldn't know. But if you're talking about Kanjivaram, yes, I would definitely know. And also the clusters. I mean, Tamil Nadu, you have traveled everywhere, right?
True,
I mean, all these small districts have their speciality in their own.
Absolutely.
So I think that was a great idea. And I thought, like an e-commerce platform or something, Tamil Nadu is still unrepresented. Like,
Very true.
for example, if you see the South Delhi stores, for example, they would put a Rekha Kanjivaram, all in like tissue. That is not Kanjivaram. Kanjivaram is something very, they don't use the zari at all. It is like in measured tones, the contrast colors come out. That's why we've seen our elders wear Kanjivaram, right?
True,
they would have a handful of Kanjivarams, but everything would be a treasure. Like for example, this particular sari I'm wearing has a double mundane. So you can wear this side or that side. something like that. So there are these pockets of Tamil Nadu which are still to be tapped. So that got me interesting. And so since we know the language, since we know, and it's and you can travel, all that happened, and then one by one happened. So basically I wanted to content research, and I also curated one exhibition for Dakshin Chitra, the trade textiles of Chennai.
Nice.
So that was a project, and then I was a project coordinator for that show. It's basically about the Real Madras handkerchiefs which went from here to Nigeria.
True.
But all the, I mean, if you see, the cuttams were a part of Tamil Nadu, right? The checks were always an integral part of the Coromandel coast. So that was very interesting. Then after that, finally I took the plunge and did some exhibitions, and went on well. Then I started during the COVID. I had a lot of stock, and because I went for an exhibition in Delhi. They invited me for an exhibition from Tamil Nadu Viewer Service Center. Then, but it never happened. It never took off. So I had a huge stock, and then I had to start on my own. So that was the period when this brand was born.
So that's amazing. So we'll talk about your brand in some time, but also beyond and above being a researcher, you've also come to be known now as a revivalist. You've gone all across Tamil Nadu. You're looking at weaves that have been forgotten over time. Tell us a little bit about the whole revivalist side of it.
I think, basically revival is a very big term according to me. See, we have to understand what is the capability of the weavers, and then give them that kind of work. And there are very hard, now that whole population is depleting. We can say it is recreating. That will also be okay, because one is, we don't have those kind of dyes, those kind of techniques. The looms have changed. The art is not there. So we have to play according to all these aspects which are currently now. And Tamil Nadu has advanced leaps and bounds, especially Arni and all. They do such fantastic, the loom setup itself is so good. The jacquards, electronic jacquards have taken over. So I think this is the scenario of Tamil Nadu now. So, but my pet project was the Sungdi. So I thought, why not? Because usually we have heard about this Kattu Sungdi, Kai Kattu Sungdi or something, which is very, actually the art came from Pattanulkaras, who actually migrated all the way from Gujarat on a migration during the Vijayanagara period time. So during the later time when the Nayaks were there, like in Tanjore and Madurai, so they brought all these people because they were very good in tie and dye. So wherever the royals were there, we had all these temple towns which used to weave. Like for example, Kanjivaram, Trichy, Tanjavur, Kumbakonam, and then Madurai also. So that was the place where these people came, and they were very good in dyeing the patkas, the red silk patkas for the kings, or the turbans.
Okay.
All that. If you see the history, most of the saris came from turbans.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Very interesting. If you see the Venkatagiri saris, it was first one is dhotis.
Oh.
All these beautiful ones like Kodali Karpur, Veshti. So the tie and dye ones, it came as a turban or a Veshti, and then it would eventually follow because it was very nice as a
and now
sari
they
also.
become only saris.
The
turban culture is gone. And, wow, that's interesting.
Yeah. So that's how this Sungdi project happened. And so, I mean, problem is, once the art died some way, because, basically you can't expect to hand knot
True.
the entire 10 or 15,000 on a 6-meter sari. So by then, problem is, when Sungdi came in, there were two aspects to it. One was this hand knotted one, and secondly, the hand blocked Sungdi is the one. So if you see Sungdi, very, very, very different it is, because they use a wooden block, all right, but you'll have metal rims inside.
Okay.
So it is very different from the ordinary hand blocks. So it is a resist print of this wax going in, and wherever the wax is, you'll get that white sunnam or the dots, and then they would dye it. So that came in, and people started wearing that. So that was very affordable for them. So we lost that art somewhere, and then later on to bring back that art, it is quite a difficult thing, because earlier we had a lot of people who would literally work from home. Like Bandhani and Sungdi are two crafts where women used to work from home.
Hmm.
The concept of work from home was always there. They would gather in groups, they would do that. But somewhere when people started working, and the joint family system went out, that went.
True.
But still Bandhani is there.
Hmm.
Bandhani, you have a lot of younger people working there. So my project was over a period of years. We had to make the base saree and then get the artist trained and then get somewhere near that original.
How nice. So now we can officially say Sungudi is back in all its glory. I've seen you show some of the pieces. But beyond and above Sungudi, I've seen you work with a lot of textile forms and weaves from Tamil Nadu. Could you, since I'm sure a lot of our listeners don't know a lot about these really rare weaves, maybe 2 or 3 weaves that you think are exciting and people need to focus on from Tamil Nadu?
Tamil Nadu was always known for its cottons. The best of the cotton belt is in Paramakudi, Madurai. Then, of course, the Pollachi, Coimbatore sector. Even now, the most of the weavers are in and around Coimbatore, Pollachi and all that. So, the best of the cottons come from there. So, everyone who has this collection will have a Negamam saree, will have a Coimbatore saree, will have a Coimbatore soft silk saree. Because, they have such advanced looms. They make some beautiful sarees and it's very affordable. And then, of course, the Paramakudi saree and, the thick coarse cottons from, earlier the Chettinad cottons used to be there. So no one is making those sarees, but they were done near Paramakudi. Those clusters are very well known. They are very, very, very easy to buy. Like, you'll get a good saree for like 1,000 daily wear sarees. So all that, and of course you have the Madurai cluster, which has the biggest sarees. And so all these sarees are there. There's one cluster which I really love is the Kurainadu sarees.
Okay, you're wearing one, I think.
Yeah. Kurainadu is the place near Mayavaram. 10 kilometers from Mayavaram is this Kurainadu. It was called Kurai means in Tamil it means cloth.
Oh, okay.
It is common to both men and women. So you have lot of references to in Silappadigaram and all. You can see that a person is wearing Kurai. So Kurainadu means the place which makes that cloth. So, and usually if you see Kurainadu is the bridal saree. They made the bridal sarees, and usually it will be white and red checks if you see. And what they will do is during the time of that Muhurtam, they would dip that in turmeric and then wear it. It's like Ayurvedic Vastra. Like now we are talking about everything, right? It is like dipped in turmeric and offered to the bride. So then Kurainadu also started making these, they were very well known for the checks. So then they started making the silk by cotton. Even in British records, the silk and cotton mix was recorded. Kurainadu was one such cluster which used to make these checks, and to give a texture to the checks like kota, they would use cotton.
How interesting.
So in the silk, and when they have this doria kind of thing, so that used to come. So Kurainadu was very well known for cotton, silk cotton, and finally I thought let me make silk also in the old style. And so Kurainadu is one place which I really love, and of course our traditional Kanjivaram. So,
absolutely.
So you can't beat them, right?
Very true, very true. Okay, so now this is the season of Pongal. Happy Pongal, by the way. And across the country, people are celebrating Pongal, Makar Sankranti. It's a time when people are buying cloth, buying new clothes. What would you suggest to our listeners based all across the country? What are those kind of weaves and textile forms that you think they should kind of invest in this particular festive season?
Yeah, I think before buying,
okay,
I would recommend them to open their bureau and see what is there.
Oh, nice.
Basically, they might be sitting on some treasures from their moms or aunts or anyone, and you don't get those special weaves anymore. I think it's high time they opened and took stock of what they have now.
Okay.
Apart from that, this is on a lighter note, but if you want to go for a traditional sari, I think one from each state would make up your wardrobe.
Lovely.
That's more than that, right?
Give us a few examples.
Yeah, right. And always go for these cooperative institutions or the weaver societies. Like if you're traveling to Indore or Maharashtra, then look at Indrayani.
Okay.
Like you go and see that there'll be a weaving society inside that particular society. For example, when I travel to Tamil Nadu or on my merchandising or my other trips, I stumbled upon this Tirubunam cluster.
Okay.
One, it is, it's such a treasure house that it's still underrated because you talk about Arani the temple core-wise of Arani. These guys make 16-inch one-side border,
Wow.
which is the hallmark. It is very difficult. Okay, it has one-side border, but the kind of filature of silk and the kind of art that is very, very local to that place. You know, like for example, if you see an Orissa coat part, right, you can relate to it. It is a tribal, it's a tribal weave. So, at the same time, this is such a beautiful one. And there is also a place called Bhuvanagiri near Chidambaram. So people going to Chidambaram can also go to Bhuvanagiri and see all those small weaving societies. They make such fabulous saris.
Nice. And across the country, other recommendations?
Yeah, of course. Of course, I think one Assam weave should be mandatory.
Okay.
I think because whatever...
In silk or cotton?
Both.
Okay.
I like the Assam because one is they have a very coarse weave of cotton.
True.
And it's very rustic. And you know what? The Assam cotton is one of the very nice ones. Of course, they make the chadors, right? The mekla chadors. But they've come to saris also. But they have very minimalistic zari or something because of the looms. I think because still they have the dobby looms because the borders are still attached in Assam. But I think I really like it. A lot of people have been recreating a lot of things in organza with all the tribal borders and all that. I mean, you can look at all that. But for me, a Muga silk is a class. I mean, if you want one Muga silk, I think you save it up and then wear it more often.
Lovely. What about the north?
Yeah, of course. I love patolas. I have weak, I like ikats basically, but but patolas are like, though it is still in the expensive bracket, but a double ikat patola is like, you have this, you see the sharpness of the weave and the way they put up the entire design. That is such a pleasure to look at.
Absolutely.
And you just need to have only one patola and keep on wearing because you can wear it both sides. You can wear it, pallu is also double side. I think patola is such a nice weave. Even Rajkot patola is good for the cheaper ones, right? You get a Rajkot patola for about 10,000 to 11,000. Fantastic ikats. So I love that. Of course, Orissa, I like all these coat parts and bumkais. I'm very partial to that. Of course, then muslins and even the simple khadi sari is also very good from Tamil Nadu. Like Gandhigram makes these natural dye saris. Then my favorites are Ponduru Khadi, Ponduru Khadi Jamdani. So it's like, it's like free hand. I love those. And we're not getting the Venkatagiris now. So I like that. And then when you go into Jaipur, you want to take all the block prints, like, they Sanganer prints are out of the world. So I like to do fusion.
Nice.
So basically, not too much to spoil both sides. But sometimes I see that when they're doing a Sanganer print, they do it in a power loom or an ordinary sari, which doesn't bring out the beauty. So I made it in a Kanjivaram. You know how striking it looked, the three-colored one.
Wow.
This is the base sari. So see, basically what I've learned throughout the years is when you're with an artisan, you have to provide them the basic sari. You can't expect the artist to buy the best sari for you and print it. His job is just to print it. The layout, design, the color combination, what suits the sari, and the labor involved in it. That is his part. But if he has to bring out something really different, somebody else should help him to make that base sari in we have to help in a way, or you have to weave and give it to him.
Nice.
And then make it easier for him. Make his work easier. He has to concentrate on his work. We have to concentrate on our work.
So that's a lovely list you've given us. Is there some particular part of the country where you would like to research more into their textile culture? Something that you would like to do in the coming year?
Yeah. I have a long list.
Okay.
Still, I've not traveled to Bhuj, though I have a lot of artisans working for me in Bandhani. But I went to Anoki Textile Museum in Jaipur. I think everyone who loves textiles should visit Anoki Museum. Anoki Museum, you can actually see how on Sanganer prints there was a toll tax levied and there's a stamp on it.
Wow.
Heard about these taxes collected on Kanjivarams from the Chola inscriptions,
Hmm.
but never seen it. Okay, here you can see that there is a stamp, royal stamp on the
How lovely.
on the turbans when it leaves Jaipur.
Hmm.
Those kinds are still there. You can in the north they would just put up a big cloth, right? It will be hand printed. And people would come and sit on it. It was like a very precious one where all the important decisions would be done. The cloth is always part of our lives. It takes different forms. So to understand all this itself is very good, and the way what we make out of it is it's numerous. You can do anything.
Bhuj, definitely. What else? Any other places you'd like to visit in the coming year?
Bhuj, yeah, Bhuj is one. Then of course Northeast.
Okay.
Northeast is still on my list. I have to do the Northeast part. Then Andhra.
Nice.
I want to see the Dharmavaram and all that pocket. I have not seen. I have to go and see where they do the Dharmavaram. So some of these pockets somewhere, and then of course chicken curry also I have to do.
So huge
list.
Listeners, this is Romal Laishram on the Indulge Podcast, and I'm in conversation with Sreemathy Mohan. We'll quickly move now to your brand. So you launched a brand because you had no other choice, but how do people reach out to you? What are the kind of things you're offering in your label right now?
So my brand is called Stree Creatives. So started this during the COVID time, and the main emphasis is on the weaves of Tamil Nadu, and of course Kanjivaram, Marani, Tirubunam, Sungudis and all that. But later on, I made all this fusion. Like we make a Sungudi Garchola.
Wow.
Then we make a Sungudi Bandhani.
How interesting.
And then we made a Madurai Ajrak. Like Ajrak prints with a Madurai Kattichayam border.
Wow.
Which elevates the sari. You just give a border because Madurai is known for its Kattichayam. And of course, Ajrak is known for its natural eye, hand blocked, hand printing.
Absolutely.
So all these like a Sanganeri Kanjivaram. So all these things which actually gel well with a lot of people, and people want something new every time. And it is not like it has to have the traditional look, yet it has to not cross some borders. So there are a lot of people, and mine is a small business, but the focus is not on the quantity, or I don't open a store. I want to stay small, focus on whatever I want to do, because basically it's like a one-man show, and I have to look after designing, merchandising, and content, office, everything. It's like you're the peon, you're the accountant, you're the face of the brand and everything. True. But somewhere I think there is a small team which helps you, but I think all certain things, like for example, you need not go around Chennai to all the retailers looking for one. You can at least pick up 2 in my shop. Nice. And main thing is we customize certain things for you. Where on earth you can weave your own sari.
Oh, lovely. Want
your bandhani designs specified and dyed in your color, in the color you want.
Very nice. So how do people get in touch with you? Are you on Instagram?
We have basically the shop is run only on Instagram.
Lovely.
And we've launched a website also, streecreatives.com. Okay. So we started doing accessories also.
Oh, very nice.
Because that is also I think it's like one place where you can buy Tamil Nadu jewelry and Tamil Nadu saris. Like for these things, like Tamil Nadu is very well known for certain types of jewelry. Like for example, Aimpon jewelry, which is very, very affordable. Only thing is they don't get the right quality in the market, because sometimes online you don't get what you pay for is different, and what you get is a very pathetic brand. My focus is on delivering that quality.
Interesting.
Any product which goes on my site is like, would I wear this? Would I use this? That is my criteria.
Super.
So it need not be a very expensive one. It can be like, for example, we started doing an Aimpol Mangal Sutra for a friend whose old mom is in Chennai. She can't. It's a risk for them, right? Having a gold chain and all that. So she said, "Can you do same pattern Mangal Sutra?" So we started doing that Mangal Sutra, and it is selling like.
Wow.
Like, I never thought that we had a market for this. This is one of the examples where we thought this is one area where really people, if you give a good product and there are people, because people going for walking, they can't wear. They have to take it out and wear this and go. And these are all customer stories. What I'm sharing.
Nice, very nice.
Travel or anything like that. So this is a complete package of traditional Tamil Nadu.
How lovely. On that wonderful note about Tamil culture and the fact that you're doing so much for Tamil textiles and now accessories, Pongal is here. We're all celebrating Pongal. On Pongal, I know you've spoken about saris that that women can buy. What about our male audience? What do you
Yes.
think they should do during Pongal? What can they invest in?
I think, see, the first week till 15th, it's called a Veshti week. So basically to promote people wearing Veshtis. So now that after our Prime Minister came here and wore a dhoti, towel and all, that has picked up very well. Even during the chess tournament, they designed a border with that
With the chess
chess icons. So and it was very nice to see Surya wearing a a tussar color dhoti and for his national award function. That has set the world on fire, and a lot of people want the same dhotis. In fact,
nice.
in fact, a lot of clusters are making these veshtis in Tamil Nadu. The
Lovely.
bridal, the veshtis. So we started making these, especially the 9x5 and 10x6.
Nice.
And of course, the madisars also we make, right? The 10 gajams and what that is also like people want, they think a lot because you wear it for very auspicious functions.
True.
So men, of course, you have all this range. If you want a dhoti, always right from cotton, khadi. Yeah, we did this khadi dyed in indigo.
Wow.
That also we did. So that is a pure khadi veshti. So all that we do it on a smaller scale, and of course kurtas.
So people can reach out to you
Yeah,
for
yes,
kurtas and
yes.
dhotis. Lovely.
We don't have a ready-to-wear range, but I've got these lovely Vidarbha tussar materials which we are doing from Vidarbha. That is a desi tussar that goes well for kurtas.
Nice. Amazing. So we've got some great options for Pongal. On that wonderful note, I think we've come to the end of our conversation. We can go on talking because there's so much to talk and explore. But we'll continue this conversation in another podcast maybe in a few months from now. Thank you so much for your time, Sreemathy. And on that note, our dear listeners, have a blessed and happy Pongal. Here's Sreemathy and me signing off. This is the Indulge Podcast with me, Romal Laishram. And I'm so happy you had time for us, Sreemathy.
Thank you so much, Romal. Bye.